Baptist churches in Paducah, Kentucky, which was the site of a high school shooting back in 1997, are hosting, quote, Second Amendment celebrations and giving away guns and steaks, because you got to have a steak if you're going to have a gun, to attract more people to their congregations. I am not making this story up. It is actually true. Let's take a look at a little video from the local Fox affiliate.
Forgive me, but I never really heard of churches giving out guns to get guys to sit in the pews.
Well, man, you've just been out of touch. We've been doing this 20 years.
This is in Paducah, you know.
Paducah, Kentucky.
So you know what happened in Paducah.
I've heard about that.
So, did you know about that before you planned this? A little ironic, a little maybe insensitive.
The issue is not the guns. The issue is men's hearts. And men who have their hearts changed through a personal relationship with Jesus Christ will handle guns responsibly.
Chuck does seem like a very spiritual guy, doesn't he? Well, don't worry, folks. It's not just happening in Kentucky. It's happening in New York, too. Upstate Troy, New York. According to the LA Times, there's a church there that's giving away an assault rifle this very weekend. We've got the flyer. Yeah, you can win a free AR-15. My peace I give unto you. John 14:27, March 23rd. Yeah, they're going to give away a freaking assault rifle. I mean, is this literally just the worst of everything in America? Like somehow that they've combined spirituality and religion and guns and fear and
steaks.
It's
like Jesus always said, turn the other cheek and reload.
Yeah, exactly.
And then fire back. Like how weak do you think your stance is or your God is if you have to attract people with guns? Like if your message, if you believe that heavily in Jesus Christ and the love of the Lord and you can't do it with the Bible,
right?
That you have, okay, here's a gun, here's a steak. What do I have to give you?
Right.
Here's 2 tickets to see
Bingo
Miley
didn't work
Cyrus.
when they had that night.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
Carnival Day didn't work when they did that.
What more how do I get you to love my Lord?
Yeah, and I guess religion in a way is often about bribery one way or another.
It's almost literally bringing you to Jesus at gunpoint.
Yeah, it is. The Bible is like the shield for the bullets, and then you got your gun and the stake. When I was watching this, I was thinking, look, if a Jewish temple did this, that would just simply never happen. And can you imagine if a mosque, if Muslims said we were giving away guns, people's heads would
that
literally.
Would be incredible. We should just try that, I think, and see what happens.
Can you really? Can you imagine?
Lose their minds.
Fox would be the end of it. It'd be the end of it.
Fox would literally spin off another channel altogether to just deal with that constantly.
But it is an interesting point because the rest, I mean, you know, I bet there's a lot of other churches and congregations and NRAs who are rallying around these churches who, when people are, you know, crying that this is a bad idea or this is, you know, unpolitical or whatever, there are probably churches out there who are coming around this saying like, we should protect our, you know, our rights and this is something that a church can do. But yeah, God forbid, if it was a mosque, it would be the end. It would be burned to the ground.
How is it the heart test? How does that work when giving someone a gun? Like he has to have a good heart. It's like the time when Bush said he looked into Putin's eyes and saw into his heart. Like what the fuck does that even mean?
What does that mean? But okay, so then beautifully, so the quote there was "My peace I give unto you," and that's so they're using a biblical term to try to sell you a gun. But what's the connection?
P-I-E-C.
It's
not P-E-A-C-E.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the other piece.
Yeah, it's the other piece. No, but really, like, what are they going for there? Like, I guess somehow they're implying my peace I give it to you in that I'm going to weaponize you so you will protect yourself, because I guess God can't protect you when it comes down to it if someone's breaking into your house.
He's too busy picking who's going to win the Final Four. Exactly. So you got to arm yourself.
And especially
for
March
the next
Madness
month.
now.
I mean, it's just it's one of those stories that it comes out and you have nothing to say. It's so terrible, and you go, this is a snapshot of America today, and it's terrifying. And maybe what's worse is they're giving out this steak, which is probably so pumped full of hormones.
That's a whole other. We'll get to some food stuff later. Yeah. It's all GMO and all that stuff. All right. So just to finish up with this, where do you guys generally stand on the gun thing? I've been trying to ask a lot of the panelists that we've had on just a general thing because I feel like our debate about it is so stupid. So let me get 2 rational people. Where do you generally stand on the gun thing?
Well, I think as a country we are so far gone over the Second Amendment that taking away guns is never going to happen. So I think you really just need really good, rational gun reform. And that's all you can really do here. Like, you're never going to be Australia or England because people will go crazy if you tell them we're going to get rid of guns. So I think it really comes down to just really good, solid reform.
So that people can have them, but maybe not a machine
exactly.
gun,
Right.
but you could have a rifle to shoot a deer, say.
I mean, I have a family who is in Maine who are hunters, and they rely on that for their food in the winter, so I can't be so against their ability to be able to hunt. But I think when the Second Amendment was written, it was like muskets that they were talking about,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
Right.
maybe people should be able to have a musket if you have to put, there's a powder and
There
then
was
a little
actually
pellet.
a commercial where the guy tried to do an office shooting with a musket, and that was the joke.
Right,
And, like,
right.
while he was reloading, everyone was gone.
Right.
But
So
is
you got musket.
Is the argument against that, though, that these people genuinely think that one day they're going to have to form a militia to fight the government? So they would argue, well, if the government has tanks, we do need machine
They
guns.
watch too much
'Cause
TV.
they're
too many
watching-
movies. They're losing the bunker. Those people, Doomsday Prep, were like,
Oh my
they're
God.
going nuts. They're driving themselves insane with this crazy
Yeah,
illusion
but
in their
if they're
mind.
right, we're going to be beating down the door trying to get the baked beans.
I honestly believe that if the NRA would like team up with like the Walking Dead people and sell it to me as you're going to need this for the zombie
Right.
invasion, I would be much more pro-gun
Right.
than I am right
But
now.
how many do you need? How many guns do you
And
need?
you don't
It
need
depends how
you
many
don't need
zombies.
an AR-15 to hunt.
Well, that's
zombies.
the zombies. But that's my point.